Hello, this is chapter 9, video number 1. This chapter is going to be all about confidence intervals. This is something that we see quite a bit of when we're looking at polling. A lot of times polls, especially like political polls, often include a margin of error. So let's say that you're looking at an approval rating. Let's say somebody's approval rating for a vote is 58% with a margin of error of 3%. Well, 58% is our guess at what percentage of people approve of somebody, but it could be as high as 61%, or it could be all the way down at 55%. But that is what we are going to get into. And honestly, this has all of the same skills that we've been doing in the previous chapters, just kind of pieced together. So we're going to start with a little bit of a fun problem, and that is I'm going to try to figure out what percent of the Earth's surface is water. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm actually going to find 15 random samples. I'm going to use that as my estimate. So 15 random samples. All right, I have a random geographic coordinate selector, and I'm going to go ahead and choose random locations. And I'm choosing 15 total. So here we go. All right, first location is water. I'll go ahead and tally that. That's 1. Next one is, let me zoom in, make sure we're not on an island. Nope, still water. All right, next one, water again. We are still in water. All right, fourth location is water. 4 out of 4, we are all water. So currently my point estimate is 100% of the Earth is water. Now, this is not the case. Let's go ahead and take a look. Still water. 5 out of 5. All right, again, hey-oh, I think we're in Antarctica. Okay, don't argue with me. I know ice is water, but I'm going to go ahead and call it solid land. So we have our first land. All right, so we have 6 locations. Let's find another one. Oh, hey-oh, looks like we are in Russia. We are in land. Next one. Oh boy. All right, Canada. Yep, still in water. So we are 6 for 8 in water. Let's look at another one. More water. All right, let's choose another location. Heyo, land. You're in Africa. All right, next one. Oh, looks like we are in water. We're close to Alaska there. Say hello to Sarah Palin. We got more water. All right, so right now we are at 9 and 3, 9 waters, 3 lands. I'm gonna go ahead and choose 3 more. All right, here we go. Oh, water. All right, we have 10 and 3. Oh boy. Water. All right, and finally, next one, water again. All right, so here is what we came up with. With our 15 samples, we ended up with 12 that were water and 3 that were land. All right, so if I were to ask to predict what percent of the Earth's surface is water, well, this is calculating a point estimate. I'm calculating what is my guess at the percentage of water. Now, an estimate, if we're looking at an estimate, you're going to have this little hat over it. That is just saying, hey, this might not be the exact percent of Earth that is water. This is just our guess. This is our predicted value. And for this, oh boy, for this, we had 12 out of 15, 12 out of 15 that were water. And then finally 12 out of 15, if I wanted to simplify that down, that is looking at right about 80%. All right, so this is our point estimate. Now, let's be honest. I doubt that the percentage of Earth that is water is exactly 80%. So here is what us mathematicians and our statisticians like to do. Not only do we like to report the point estimate, but we also like to turn this into a confidence interval. And the most common confidence interval that we tend to have is 95%. And the reason why 95%, my gut instinct why 95% is chosen is, well, think about 95%. 95% is our empirical rule for 2 standard deviations this way and about 2 standard deviations this way. Now, if I wanted to, I could change this to a higher confidence level, maybe, let's go with a lower one first. Let's say I want to report something, but I don't want it to be too confident. We could make a 50% confidence interval, and that one would be much more narrow. If I'm only including 50% of our guesses, that's going to be smaller. Or we could be super accurate, and if I wanted a 99% confidence interval, well, that would be almost 3 standard deviations away. 99% confidence interval. Now, you could claim, or you could ask the question, well, what about 100% confident? Well, 80% is just our guess. And if I wanted a 100% confidence interval, well, I'd have to include every single percentage all the way from 0 to 100. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about what this means to have a confidence interval. And I'm going to go ahead and go with a 95% confidence. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and say 95% confidence interval. And we're going to talk about how to calculate these in the next few videos, but 95% confidence interval. What does this interval mean? All right, well, here is what this means. This means that the reporter, I am 95% confident that the true proportion of Earth's surface, that is surface, that is water, is within my confidence interval. All right, so I'm 95% confident that that true value is going to be somewhere in there. Now, we're going to talk about how to actually calculate what those endpoints are. Maybe it is from 70 to 90, or maybe it's 75 to 85, but we are going to talk about how do we figure out these values in the next videos. But here are the main points from today. First main point that we've got for you guys today. First off, how to calculate a point estimate. A point estimate is simply what did we get from our sample. I had 12 out of 15 that were water, so 12 out of 15 is 80%. That's my guess. Now, most of the time, we're not just going to report one guess, we're going to report a range of guesses. And typically 95% is our usual confidence level. So by saying, hey, I am 95% confident that somewhere between 60% and 100% of the Earth's surface is water. We'll talk about how to actually get those. However, that will give us a range of values that we are confident in. Now, the more things we sample, the more accurate this is going to be. And also, you can change your value of confidence. And just for fun, let's go and look it up. What percent of the Earth is water? It's about 71%. All right, and tomorrow we are going to actually figure out, is that 71 within this 95% confidence interval? My guess is yes. All right, so you have one homework assignment, just talking about point estimates and interpreting confidence intervals. Please let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day.